Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I will be crafting with some of the Paper Sweeties outfits. So I'm not actually going to assemble the doll and dress her. I'm actually just going to use her outfits because I wanted to show that maybe there are some days where you just don't have the time to color, or you're just looking to maybe use your stamps in a different way. And my go-to is always to build a background from them. And my first thought actually was to try to create maybe something akin to a fashion magazine spread or catalog, something like that. But I don't think that I've stamped things out to exactly resemble that. I'm really just going for a fun kind of all over pattern. And I found this sentiment, which I thought was really cute. It says, "When it rains on your parade, put on cute boots," which I thought that was really kind of fun, motivational and inspirational, but also you could find that as sort of a catchphrase in a fashion catalog or magazine. And that's why I sort of veered a little bit from that original concept, because I couldn't find enough stamps that were, I think, sort of salesy, cute, but fun in the sense of what you may see in a fashion catalog. So that was really the only sentiment that I found that I thought would work in that way. So it's the only one I used, but I'm pulling out outfits from several different stamp sets, and I decided to use craft paper, which is another way to sort of change things up a little bit, especially for me because I don't often think to go with craft and stamp or create my images directly on craft paper. And I happen to be using an archival ink for stamping because that's what I have. I didn't want to use black. I wanted to use something that was just a little bit darker than the craft paper. You could also just use maybe a Versamark ink, because that's exactly what your clear Versamark ink will do. It'll just darken your color cardstock to make it look like it's basically sort of a watermark. So it doesn't really change the color, it just darkens your paper. So that would have worked too. But if you do use or want to get into using archival ink, just know that it will probably stain your stamps. As you can see, it's leaving a stain on my stamps, even though I'm wiping it with a microfiber cloth as I go. That won't damage your stamp in any way, and that won't continue to transfer that color the next time you go to use the stamp. But if you like to keep your stamps like super pristine, then just bear that in mind. With archival inks, it can cause some staining. So now that I've stamped out my various outfits, some accessories like the earmuffs, mittens, and the boots, I'm going to go ahead and attach this panel. I'm making a 4x6 card today, and so, but you can easily replicate this for any size. Just, keep on stamping, and I like to stamp right off the edges. That way this looks like it's part of a larger maybe piece of paper that you've cut down, piece of pattern paper, for example. Now, I happen to have if you remember, there was a Seasons mini stamp set that had individual letters in this awesome font. And a lot of the other Sweet Minis sets have individual letters as well. And I was able to find between, I think, 3-4 different sets, enough letters to spell out the word fashionista, which I thought would be really fun and just a nice little way to reinforce the whole fashion, concept. So I'm going to trim this down so that it's the same width as my craft color cardstock. And it does end up covering completely some areas of my stamped sort of pattern paper. But that's okay. I should have maybe thought a little bit, like if that's important to you in terms of wanting to really make sure that your favorite stamped images are going to be visible if you do plan on putting a sentiment over top, maybe some advanced planning would help with that. Because as you can see, I covered up the bottom of that really cute shirt dress that has the heart pattern on it. I covered up the mittens entirely. And so I could have saved myself the trouble of stamping out the mittens. But B, if those were bits that were like really precious to me that I really wanted to make sure were seen, then if I thought or planned in advance, then I could have chosen different places to stamp out those images. Now, I thought that I might want to dress this up a little bit more with some sequins. This is the coffee mix. But in the end, I decided I kind of want all of these outfits to stand on their own and just have them be the star, really. But I wanted to add something a little because it was looking a little too flat to me, and archival ink is not the best approach, the best for this technique of watering it down. Maybe your distress inks would be better, dye inks would be better, but I didn't want to add a different color. I just wanted to again take that same, keep this really monotone and just add some highlights and just a little bit more interest by using the exact same color. And it works. It's just that it doesn't, archival inks, the thing that makes them great is you can stamp onto non-porous surfaces and they will dry and stick. And so even though I'm adding water pretty quickly, it's still drying really quickly. It'll clean off just fine. I wasn't worried about it being able to clean it off. It's just not that reactive to water. But I like adding just a little bit of these shadowed areas to some of these images because it does, I think, give it a little bit more interest without adding more color. So I'm glad that I did it. And I did have to go over some areas twice because as it dries, because water by itself will make your cardstock look darker. So as that water dries and you're left with just the color of the ink, you'll notice that it does fade back a little bit. And so if you want to deepen or darken any of those areas, you can always go over them again with another little wash of color. So that's my card complete. Super, super quick and easy. I actually really love the sentiment. I think it's great for somebody who may feel a little bit down and just need a little quick pick-me-up. So that's my card for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!